and I wanted to discuss implementing programming apps in elementary education. So my guiding questions during my research were, what type of 21st century skills do programming apps help for our elementary learners? How coding apps or programming apps support students' digital literacy, and what do teachers need to know about using apps in their classroom? So, programming apps are used for coding in elementary education. We can utilize Scratch Junior, Daisy the Dinosaur, Codable, and more. These types of apps allow students to move characters or objects using a set of instructions. For example, up, down, side, left, right, return, like turn around. And these apps are introductory or beginner apps to coding. As students progress through some programming apps that are available, they can actually be like, their skills can advance to like intermediate or advanced. And some apps also allow actual real-time coding experience, like using actual coding software like Java. So that's pretty cool. So the benefits of using programming apps in the classroom, that students are able to use their computational thinking skills. So they're using step-by-step directions to move their object, or determining that like they need to get their object from one point to the other, and how are they going to do that. Scratch Junior is a coding program that allows students to create characters and stories, which I think is kind of neat. So that helps to develop their language skills, and it also allows them for collaboration with their peers and online sharing depending on the program. So again, how these programs support, or these apps support, digital literacy students are using their critical thinking skills to determine how they're going to get their object to move. Ideally, I think that these apps or programs can be used in pairs, so that would allow for collaboration and communication. If they use them in a pair, they can help determine which path they're going to take using like their communication skills with their peer, but they also can be utilized individually as well. I just think for lower elementary, pairs is a nice way to introduce it. Students are able to problem solve. If their code doesn't work, they can take a step back and see how they can change it so their object will move to where they want it to go, so they can rewrite it and rerun their the application so that their character can move. So it allows them to create and then modify and then create again, and they're creating content during using these apps by creating code, and instead of just consuming video or code, or not code but video or different forms of content that they can see online. So some considerations I have for teachers is, can children actually create something with this technology? And yes, they are creating. So for example, in the Scratch Junior, they are working through creating a story with characters and visualizations, and so they're actually creating different things to actually tell a story. So I think that coding allows them to create, and it allows the opportunity for them to explore without having an end goal necessarily. I mean, even though they are trying to get an object to one place or another, they can kind of play around with that. Does technology allow for collaboration? Again, if students are working in pairs, they can be chatting with each other to be able to decide where their character is going to go or how it's going to get there. And because it's an app, they can all be on it at the same time, so students don't need to worry about taking turns necessarily with it. They are all allowed allowed to be on the same platform at the same time? And does it allow them to share their work? So in Scratch Junior, they are allowed to share, they are allowed to upload their work for peers, but I think that it allows them to share their work regardless, because students are so excited to share their work that they will show their friends what they're doing, or their grown up that's in the classroom. So I think that it allows for collaboration and supporting what they're doing on their work. So some implications that I have is that teachers still need professional development, because I know in my district teachers are still hesitant to use technology because they think students spend too much time on it. So they're not utilizing that. But it's just really important to help them realize that they're developing their 21st century skills and creating and all the benefits to using technology in the classroom. Another thing is that the availability of devices is not one-to-one necessarily in all districts, because unfortunately the funding for it, I know COVID did help with that a little bit, but now I don't know how that plays out in all districts. And adding in apps and games is not replacing you as the actual physical teacher. So I know that a lot of teachers think, oh, I can just put my student on the app or on Google Classroom or any other thing, and they're able to like be taught, but that's not the case. So my closing remarks is that introducing programming apps in elementary classrooms helps children develop their computational skills, which is a critical component of 21st century skills. Thank you so much for watching, and see ya.